Whoa.
WB4ARK.
KN4R.
KZ4 Bravo.
WF to you.
WB4MKL.
W4KR.
WA4EVK.
AG4 Alpha.
W4MEEC. Steve, put W1NZR Brown on the list too. He's heading out to the shack to tune up right now.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve, well, your unit sounds good. You got good audio and not quite as booming in as you normally are, but it sounds very good. Weather conditions here have been mostly cloudy all day. Looked like it was going to rain several times, but it didn't. And we still got this nagging cough that wants to crop up when we start to talk. So that's about it for right now. So we'll send it on over to KN4R, WB4ARK.
Very good. WB4ARK in the group. Brian, KN4R, Cheryl's Ford, looking out the window, overcast, no wind, and let's see, we had Mother's Day here with the family, and they've gone, and I was so wore out I had to take a nap, and now I'm back up on the Float Camp 350, listening on the R390A, and I'm pretty sure Brown will be here. So it's great that he's right behind Wilson, W4BOH in the list. So anyway, how about you? What's going on? KZ4B in the group. KN4R.
Roger, I'm not hearing Brian at all, and he's less than 15 miles away. The fading is quite severe, Steve. You've gone from 20 over 9 to nothing and back. So the fading is really terrible, and signals are generally down. So I guess we'll be saved by the day wearing on, if anything. I hope you guys can even hear me. If you're having as much trouble as I am, it's not so much the noise, it's just severe fading. We did some troubleshooting on our new LB5 1500 amp from American Amplifier Supply, and apparently I made a supply, 120 milliamp supply with a 9-volt battery and a dropping resistor to generate 120 milliamps, and put it across the plate current meter, and it pegged, which tells me that the shunt resistor across the meter is open. And it has protective diodes, so, you know, using an ohmmeter doesn't tell me much. But I would assume that much over a few milliamps pegs a meter, so that's why the thing would not heat anything up, but the plate meter was pegging, and not completely off scale, but 80% or 90%. So we're slowly chasing the problem down. But the thing is that the shunt resistor required to get to it requires open heart surgery and to get to the board. And the manual that I got that has two schematics, and the schematics number the resistors, but they don't give the value of the ohmage or the wattage. So I have no earthly idea what the value of the shunt resistor should be. So I may have to do some finagling there. But it looks like, you know, nothing was overheating, and it wasn't drawing that much current, but it was pegging the meter. So until I get that straightened out, I can't run the amp. So that's the news from this part of Lake Norman. And I understand it goes to Mirror, but I'm not sure I'll hear it. Copy is very, very QS Bakerish today. WF2U in the group, KZ4B, over.
Roger. Oh. Sorry about that. KZ4B and net, this is WF2U. Well, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. Conditions are pretty bad. I have unusually high atmospheric noise here. Usually it's a quiet area and a quiet location. But the noise level right now is between S8 and S7 and S8. Just atmospheric noise, not lightning or anything, just a high noise level. Signals are not that great either, but copyable. Steve, you were 5 dB over 9 so far. Buddy S8 and Brian was S8. John, you are S9. But I hear that noise in the background all the time. Running the Yaesu station as usual. In fact, I started to listen with my Harris radio equipment, the transceiver and the military Harris transceiver and its 500-watt amplifier. Unfortunately, the transceiver does not have a noise blanker. It just comes without it, and there is no option. So I switched over to the Yaesu station. Of course, the receiver has a noise blanker. Doesn't do much at this point, but a little better. And so putting out about 320 watts or so on peaks. And the antenna is the end fed halfway for 80 meters. So goes to Gary. K3OS and the group. This is WF2U.
Power drop here. WF2U. And the group of K3OS. Afternoon, everybody. This is the same. Everybody's holding this noise, but I'm able to copy most everybody here. I am not running vintage today. I'm running a AC, Icon 7610 here. I got a hold of some microphones and I'm playing around with different microphones here. So if I sound a little bit different, that's probably one reason why. I'll come back on another one on the second round here. Steve, it's fun to watch your T150. Couldn't figure out what was going on until I realized that as you talk, the VFO swings a little bit, and then the display makes some sense. So anyway, I will pass it along to Cliff. WB4NKL, K3OS.
K3OS, WB4NKL. Okay, Gary. Signals are a little weaker today, but I'm so far copying everybody 100%. 75 degrees here and kind of cloudy, overcast, and running the BC610 here. Steve, the T150 sounds good. I'm just listening to you on the Drake, so I can't hear any FMing on it, but sounds pretty good here just on the Drake receiver. John, if you copy, I looked at a schematic on Bama for your amplifier, and they show that plate shunt resistor is a 0.15 ohm at 3 watt, if you could copy. So that's you might download that schematic on Bama. It's got the values on it. So with that, I'll send it on to Stan. How's things down in Walhalla, Stan? W4KR, WB4NKL.
All right, okay, Cliff, thank you. WB4NKL and the old friends group, W4KR, suburban Walhalla, outside of town, about 4 miles outside of town. Let's see here, it's 62 right now. It's overcast, light rain, intermittent rain on and off. S level, the signal level this afternoon is about, the noise level, I should say, is about an S3, S2.5, S3 right in there on the 75A4, and I'm using the Johnson 500 this afternoon, copying everybody pretty well. No, if you discount power differences, signals are all quite good, and occasional little bit of QSB, but nothing exciting. I was listening this morning on WWVH at 15 megs, and they were 20. That signal was 25 over 9. Good grief! The band for 20 meters was long. So was 40 this morning. But wow, that was I was surprised. Usually they're about between 5 and 10 over. But boy, they were really rocking. Boy, the lady out in Hawaii was rocking. Got to 75A2 fixed. There was a problem. Resistor opened up. Got that cleaned up yesterday, and that's done. And let's see. I'm looking for some parts for an HQ180, but that's gonna be a little challenging. But we'll get there. And one other item, and what was the committee? Oh yeah. Cliff will get a chuckle out of this. I'm looking for a parts-only SX28. Need a few parts out of an SX28. You're chuckling up there, Cliff. I know. Let's see. Let's move it on here. Move it on down the road. Let me literally. Let's move it down the road. Let's move it down Highway 11 about 15 miles. N4AK. This is W4KR.
W4KR and the old Friends group. This is November 4 Alpha Kilo in Sunset. Current temperature is 67 degrees, cloudy and misting rain. And interestingly, the rain is coming from the south, directly south from us. I guess right off the Gulf Coast. This afternoon I'm running the DX100 barefoot HQ129X. So as I said before, this is a serious boat anchor station today with a D104 unamplified. I had a opportunity to get a Kenwood, I guess it's a TL922 amp for free if I paid shipping, which is not cheap, but I decided to do it anyway. A friend of mine. So you fellas, somebody like Cliff, you might tell me where I can start looking on things to look for with a TL922. I have absolutely no idea if it's in pristine condition or it is a almost junker. Keep my fingers crossed. So anyway, and I hope my son's around when I have to unload it off the truck. So over to Boone, my neighbor, and I hope conditions are good enough for you to hear me. Conditions are up and down, but generally copying everybody except having a little problem with Gary. WA4BV, what is that called? WA4EVK, November 4 Alpha Kilo.
You got it there, Glenn, and you're booming in here this afternoon, which is usually the exact opposite. You're 10, 15 over here, a few miles away. It's been the weirdest day. I'm just hanging on to the armchair for the ride right now. My 8310 meter antenna is, I don't know what happened to it. It decided not to be functional. Then the new, quote, new receiver, boat anchor receiver I had, quit 3 minutes before airtime. This has been that kind of day. propagation conditions are all over the map, but Glenn, you're coming in here over here at 10:15 over. Most people are. I don't know. Just hang on. And with that, I'm going to send it on up to KG4IUQ, WA4EVK.
This is KG4IUQ, Mark, over in Shelby. Steve said I was sounding distorted. I'm going to ask Steve right now, how am I sounding? Thank you very much. Well, it's been Mother's Day, and I went to visit my mother. Me and my wife went over, and we had a nice meal there with my brother, his wife, and his son. It was good, enjoyed it, and been messing around with some receivers that I got, and two of them are working fine, and there's a Helicopters S85 that haven't had a chance to check out much. And I noticed something about them. They work. I'm really glad to have them. They work well, and similar to that, years ago, like 1989, I had a old Helicopters receiver, and I had a ground rod outside of my window, and I don't know what made me do it, but I tested the voltage by putting a probe on the metal, and then there's a ground wire going out to that rod, and it was kind of high voltage, and I took it to somebody, and he did something about that. I don't know what he did, but these radio receivers are doing the same thing. I have a ground rod right outside of my windows, and my antenna switch has got that, it's connected to that thing. And I have a piece of coax going from that antenna switch over to my table where I'm testing these receivers, and oh man, I'm getting a voltage on these things. And one of them has a voltage no matter how I have the power plug plugged in, and two of them will get a voltage on the, I guess you call it the chassis, I don't know what to call it, but you can get a voltage depending on which way the AC line plug is plugged in. And it seems kind of like something I'd like to figure out how to take care of that. But I really enjoy having them. Very nice to have. I've learned a lot from them. It's been a nice day here, kind of cool. I'm going to turn it over now to Charlie, W4MEC. This is KG4IUQ.
Okay, Mark, real good. W4IUQ in the group W4MEC. Well, everybody's coming in okay, except when W4BOH was calling in. I heard absolutely nothing from that, so apparently Steve is the only one that could hear him, so at least, I don't know. Well, I came down with a fever and a sore throat on Friday night. I'm over that part as of this morning. I don't know where it came from. Colds are 3 days coming, 3 days with you, and 3 days leaving, usually. So I thought back to around Tuesday, who did I come in contact with that might have been sick, and I couldn't figure anybody out. So other than Buddy over the radio, so maybe we've got radio contagion traveling through the ether. Anyway, so I was hoping to use, my whole weekend has been shot here. I had a lot of stuff planned, and I even went out today so I could check in with something other than my Drake tribes here. And every time I leaned over to work on something, I had to stuff Kleenex up my nose. I couldn't stop dripping all over everything. So I said, I'm just going to sit back here in the easy chair and lean back. So anyway, hopefully I'll be over it. Your T-150 project there, Steve, sounded a lot like my Apache when I found it. The mess in that thing, and that was in the day before any effective internet, I guess, because I had to call RLC Electronics. I think that's who they were. And they were in Ohio or Pennsylvania at the time. They since moved to California. They might be out of business by now. But I used an ad in the back of QST to find them because they said they had Heathkit manuals. I called them on the phone. They said, yep, we got a Apache manual right here for $15. So that was how I got the Apache going, and it'd be still sitting if I didn't have it. But what a mess they did to that thing. They actually had the output, the actual PA output, was hooked directly to the PA grid, and that was, I don't know what they were doing, some CB or playing around, I don't know, but it took a while to straighten that out and get it going. And I'm still using it today, so let's see. My wife is up in New York City. Yeah, she went up with a friend, get to go see her friend's daughter's last performance, graduating some dancing school up there. I don't know, it's not Juilliard, but it's some other highfalutin dancing school. And I don't know what she's going to do when she gets back. She's actually, that is the dancer. She's actually been working for a medical place and doing bookwork and computer entry and all that to make a buck, but she's hoping to find dancing gigs or work in a school or something. So that's kind of like one of those degrees you get in psychology without continuing on to get a master's where you can hang out a shingle and be a shrink or something. So it's a pretty useless degree when you get right down to it. That costs a lot of money, so without expanding upon it. So let's see, I'm going to try W4BOH. If he hears me good, if not, Steve, kick him into gear there. W4BOH in the group, W4MEC.
W4MEK in the group from W4BOH in Valley Hillsboro. I won't talk a whole long time because I don't know who can hear me. I'm having a lot of trouble with some kind of local interference, which is wiping out Mach 7 that came from Gary. So I listened on my K3 with 160 milli vertical, 100 feet out from the house, and it's getting everybody, some strong and a couple so-so, but getting everybody. Nothing down here except I'm getting older. Spend a lot of time in the shack trying to recover from years of neglect and start downsizing. So if you need a 500-pound radio and a 6-foot rack, please let me know. I might be able to help. Vintage-wise, I've been running my 599 and T599 Kenwoods from the 80s, maybe even the 70s. I don't know exactly when they were imported. And they are really working well. That's a beautiful little pair of radios. And as everybody says, it's a fabulous tuning gear on both of them. Okay, enough of that. Welcome home, Brian. It's good to hear your smiling voice again. Hope you're hearing me today, so I'll get off now and see if anybody did hear me. I guess it goes to Brown. See if he showed up. W1NCR from W4BOH.
Okay, Wilson. Very good. Stand by one here. There we go. That's a little bit better. There. All right. Very good. W4BOH and the old friends net, W1NZR, saying a very, very good afternoon to all. And very happy to be here. 100% copy on you, Wilson. A little bit of trouble with some of the other guys. Good afternoon to you, Steve. Good copy here. Thank you for running the net. Buddy's coming in very well. Hearing Brian and John quite well. And unfortunately, I just couldn't pull Mir out of the soup. And as well as Gary and Cliff were down a little bit. But Mark, you're doing a good job in here. Glenn and Boone had a little bit of trouble with you guys. I'm running the T368 here and listening to you on, well, it's a modified GRC, or a modified R390A, known as a GRC 129. Anyway, it's my usual setup that I use for the MILRAD net. But good to be here, getting ready for going to Dayton, Xenia, later this week. I missed the big Near Fest in New Hampshire last weekend, unfortunately. Domestic duties
called, so I had to give that up. But anyway, well, hope I'm being heard, and I guess I'm going to hand it back to Steve. N4LQ and the old friends net from W1NZR. Back to you.
Oh, real good. Excellent round. This is N4LQ. Do we have any late check-ins?
K4JAL.
A late check-in. Hello, Jimmy. How are you tonight? Go ahead and make a transmission, then hand it back to me.
Roger, Steve. K4JAL here. Well, got the Drake fired up and seems to be working without too much feedback. No, there's feedback. It ain't working good. So I'm going to turn the Drake off and proceed from there. Don and I thought we had it fixed, but it's howling again. He was supposed to come and get on. I told him the net was going to be at 6 o'clock rather than 5 o'clock. We're two old coots and we get stuff like that wrong, so I doubt he gets in here. Oh well. Back to you, Steve. N4LQ, K4JAL.
Yeah, I heard that feedback. One of these days, call me up on the phone and let's talk about this, because I cannot understand how you could have feedback. But I'm curious. Maybe I don't know. I use the SDR all the time for internet connectivity. So, well, we'll see what goes on. Let's see. Anybody else want to check in? All right. Well, let's see. I ordered off of eBay. I ordered a Johnson Viking mobile. Somebody had it on there dirt cheap. Buy it now, and I grabbed it real quick. And that was on the 21st of April, and he shipped it the next day, and it's still in here. And it left Arizona. It went to Dallas, and then it came to Gastonia, which is kind of past me in the wrong direction, and sat there for a week. And I opened up a tracking complaint on it. Well, from there, yesterday it went to Columbia, South Carolina. Well, that's progress, 100 miles in the wrong direction. And then today it turned around, went back to Gastonia. So maybe one of these days it'll get here. Yeah, the T150 was quite a project. It had well, it didn't have any audio to begin with, and it kind of rattled, so I looked inside, and the pilot lamp socket assembly was laying on top of the VFO variable capacitor, loose as a goose. And then I found a plate resistor, half watt. I think it was like 270K, but it was totally open, and it looked brand new. I mean, it looked like a beautiful resistor, and it was infinite in resistance. Boy, I tell you, that's pretty bad. This stuff is amazing. But anyhow, I am using the VFO, and I see I have drifted just a little bit. Let me crank that up there a little bit. There we go. So it's probably more stable than the other one, and I know that sometimes they do FM, but I got a crystal sitting right here just in case it's needed. So Glenn, you asked for recommendations what to look for on that new TL922. After this experience, I would say pick it up over your head and shake it real hard and see if anything sounds loose. And then go see a chiropractor. Yeah, let's see here. Anybody else had any comments here that I can... yeah, and Boone, I'd like to know what happened to your antenna. It just went bad. We got 3 inches of rain here a couple of days ago. That's enough to cause problems. Maybe it got full of water, something like that. Although usually they don't, the transformer can get wet. It doesn't usually matter that much. And John, I hope your project on the amplifier
continues to progress. And Brian, your Champ 350 sounds good. Wonder when you're leaving for Oklahoma. So appreciate the audio reports. I'm glad this thing's working, and we'll start one more round. We got 15 check-ins. WB4ARK to take it. N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve. Well, sorry about your device is traveling across the country. I've had packages that have gone from Charlotte to down south of here, somewhere around Columbia, came back to Charlotte, went back to Clover, and then finally got to the house. It's bad, and I tell you what, the mail service is in pretty bad shape. I don't know how you've got it shipped, but it kind of sounds like it might be coming standard USPS instead of UPS. Charlie, sorry you got the bad cold. I think it might hang on more than 3 days. It's a bummer. It just doesn't go away real quick, and so that's the deal with the health business. I worked at Dunkin's yesterday almost all day long, and I'm feeling it today. We were tramping out through the woods along the track area, working on circuits, and it was definitely bad on the old bones. When you get to be my age, you begin to take everything with a grain of salt and don't push yourself too much. I had to sneeze, so we didn't want that going over the air. Anyhow, yeah, you have to take it easy when you get to be this age. So anyhow, I got a birthday coming up soon, so I'll be a little bit older. So it's coming up this coming week. So with that, we'll say 73, and everybody have a great first of this week. So over to, and basically, I'd like to say, Brian, that was a great trip that you took, and I'm glad you got to do that. That was a fantastic trip. KN4R, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. Very good. WB4ARK in the group. KN4R. Well, thanks a lot. Yeah, it was a good one. And yes, we're heading out to Oklahoma about 8:30 tomorrow morning, going to the other side of Nashville for day one. Then we're going to go to Fort Smith, Arkansas for day two, and then we'll be within 3 or 4 hours of Tulsa the third day, and we show up so they can give us our caregiving instructions before they head out to the airport early Thursday morning. So anyway, but everybody's sounding good, and Steve, congratulations on the T150, and listen, Gary, the 7610 sounds good. I wonder if you're running barefoot or not. That'd be my guess. And Wilson, you're coming through just fine, and Brown, you are as well. And Charlie, I'm so sorry about the cold, and very interesting on your three-day explanation. So I'll keep that in mind next time I get it. And So anyway, I'm going to say 73s as well. I've got a couple of things I need to do before it gets dark here. I've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys maybe in June when we get back. So KZ4B and the old friends, this is KN4R 73.
Okay, KN4R in the group. This is KZ4B. Fine business, Brian. I copied you that time, as well as Buddy. I think living on the lake here, that the ground wave fights the sky wave, and they cancel each other out. So that's one thing that causes heavy QS Baker, because I can't imagine anything special other than the water maybe enhancing the ground wave. I don't know. Just a thought. Cliff, I very much appreciate the 0.15 ohm 3-watt value for that shunt resistor. It looks like that's such a low value. I may have a mho-meter, which is the inverse of an ohmmeter, that might read accurately down that low, but I've never had a use for it, and it looks like the time has come, because it looks like with that lower value, I need to take copper wire and wind my own wire wound shunt resistor to solve the problem, because the lowest value conventional non-wire wound resistor that I have is 2.2 ohms, and it would take a whole pocket of them to get down to 0.15 ohms. So I think I'll try to wind something, and I can check it with my little 120 milliamp power supply and see if I'm in the ballpark. If you would do me a favor, Cliff, I'm going to see Geek Squad tomorrow to try to straighten out my password problems. For both my cell phone, I have all Apple's equipment for both my Apple iPhone and my cell phone, and try to get those talking to each other where I can get on the internet. So if you would send, if you have, well, I assume that you got that value from the components page in the manual for that amplifier. And I bought the manual from, what's his name, that sells the keys in Tennessee. And it was missing the two very important pages. It was missing a component page, because the schematic gives no values, and there's a tune-up page that's, there are two tune-up pages. One is from 160 meters through 40 meters. That I'm missing. And I've got the 20 meters and up, so I'm okay there. So I need the 160 through 40 meter page, and I need that however many pages that break down the parts that divulge the 0.15 ohm shunt resistor. If you could email copies of those two pages, if you have them, to my wife's email. That's MEMCALPINE at gmail.com. I repeat, MEMCALPINE at gmail.com. Let me know if you got that, and if you could email it, I would very much appreciate it. And I really appreciate that value, because with that I can go ahead and try to create a shunt resistor. You just don't know how helpful that is. Thanks for calling the net, Steve. I think you are running a T150 today, and it sounds very good. Muy impresivo. glad you got it going. And buddy, I copied you on that last go round. If you're still in there, Steve was up and down from nailing it to nothing, and you and Brian, I could not copy on the first go round, but I copied you both on the last go round. So 73s to both of you. And again, thanks for calling the net, Steve. And I guess I'll say 73s. I don't think there's going to be time for another round today. So on it comes to Mir. And I did copy you on the last time, Mir, and just about everybody. WF2U in the group KZ 4B, over.
Yeah, Roger, John, very good. KZ 4B in the group. This is WF2U. You are 5 over 9 now. Everybody's signal went up a little bit and the noise level decreased. So it's really not too bad now. But the noise before was pretty unusual here. Anyway, I'll keep it short. Yeah, it's 5:45. All right, I'll keep it short, and let's see. I just want to give reports. Gary was 5.7 to 8. Sometimes the threshold of the noise that I had before. Let's see. Oh yeah, Brian S8, and the end of your transmission just now, you jumped up to S9 plus. Stan 5 over 9, Boone 5 over 9, Mark also S9, Charlie 5 over 9, and Jimmy was S8. I expect that this last round it's going to be somewhat better. So, but everybody was copyable. Oh, I forgot. Who's that? Oh yeah. Who else did I miss? Oh yeah, M4AK. I have the list here. Yeah, was 5.8. Anyway, so with that, I'll say 73 here, just in case there is no separate 73 round. I'll listen to the official end of the net. So if we manage to do another round, I'll be still here. But in the meantime, just in case, I'll say 73. And I'll be here next Saturday. I can't do the morning nets. I'm busy or not home, so 73 all. And Gary, oh, I think Gary signed, but I'm not sure. If not, then whoever it goes to, because I'm confused whether it goes to Stan first or to Cliff. So anyway, whoever it goes to, please pick it up. This is WF2U.
I'm still here, WF2U, K3OS. Okay. Yeah, I think my on this icon, the audio level tends to be down. I do apologize for that. I can't. Hold on a second. Can't get about 100% modulation, but switching microphones, having some fun here. I will say 73s and stations. Most signals are down a little bit, but I'm able to hear everybody and copy everybody. So noise or not noise, it's a nice afternoon. So everybody have a good beginning of the week. We'll catch you later on. Let's see, Cliff, over to you. WB4NKL, K3OS.
Okay, Gary, K3OS, WB4NKL. And John, if you're still there, could you give me that address again? I didn't have a pen in hand there when you started with it.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me turn the receiver down. There you go, Cliff. It's MEM CALPINE at gmail.com. I'll repeat. Michael, Echo, Michael, Alpha, Lima, Papa, India, Nancy, Echo at gmail.com. One more time, MEMCALPINE at gmail.com. Did you get that, Blake?
All right. I think you give it to me two different ways, but I got MEMCLAPINE at gmail.com. Is that correct?
Negative. It's Alpine Mountains with Mac stuck in front, ME stuck in front of it, like MEC, excuse me, yeah, MECALPINE at gmail.com. It's Melanie, which is ME, and then MacAlpin at gmail.com. Got that?
All right. Yeah, I think I got it. John, I'll send you that whole manual and here in a little bit. And I was going to tell you that if you're trying to measure that shunt from the meter terminals, you can't do that. There's a 110 ohm resistor in series with the meter going to the shunt, so your shunt may be okay. 110 ohm quarter watt resistor, if that current was coming through that, it would probably burn that 110 ohm resistor up pretty quick. Let's see, copied everybody all the way around. Pretty good conditions on this end. Browning's coming in good, and BOH copied you fine too. Brown, looking forward to seeing you up at Xenia. We're heading out here Thursday morning and should be up there around lunchtime, a little after there on Thursday, so looking forward to it. I'll say 73s too, and enjoyed it. Thanks for calling it, Steve, and I'll send it on around. Go ahead, Stan, W4KR, WB4NKL.
Okay, thanks, Cliff. Take care. WB4NKL, W4KR. Glenn, GL922. I've got one. Mine's a 922, not an A. In other words, it's got says 10 meters on the front panel. I use that with the backup. The backup sideband rig, which I drive it with the 7300, and it's been I've worked over mine a good bit, and there's some things you can do to help it. Some things that will save you an awful lot of grief if something goes haywire. They have a tendency to blow band switches, but that's a fixable problem. Let me see what else here. Brian, going out to Tulsa. We've taken that track out to Fort Smith and Tulsa, and have a safe trip. And hope all goes well for you. I think that is about. Steve, when you modulate, your carrier goes down about 50 or 60 cycles, so that the modulator current draw is dropping the voltage to the VFO. That's what's happening, and that's what's causing it. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Glenn, and good afternoon, everybody. We'll catch you earlier in the week. Final thought, Brown, 1NZR, good to hear you on the air finally. after our attempt last spring and summer. Take care. N4AK, W4KR, see everybody.
Okay, Stan, W4KR in the Old Friends Group, November 4 Alpha Kilo. And Stan, make me jot some notes down some things I need to be looking at. I'm glad there's one locally, so if worst case had to take voltage measurements, but I think those things are pretty well screwed in a case, and it's not that convenient. So I've never owned one, and this one may be a bucket of boats, so who knows? So that's the way it goes. Anyway, let's see. Buddy is maybe still listening. He does have a birthday coming up on Tuesday, and since I'm close to his age, I know what he's talking about. But I think he's got me by a year or two. Let's see. Yesterday it was interesting. The band is still a little bit down on 20 meters, but there was a guy in Rome, Italy that sat there on frequency for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and it was like he was next door. So, and then all the other signals were way down, in and out, so there you go. So Stan, again, you're very, very loud, and Boone, you're boiling in here, so no problems with ground wave today, that's for sure. I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Steve, for calling the net. I'll say 7-3s, but listen to the end. WA4EVK, November 4 Alpha Kilo.
Cliff, if you're still in there, I've got a question. Over.
Thank you, Steve, for calling the net. I'll try to catch the 160 net here a little bit later. And by the way, Ben, while I'm thinking about it, I did feel the earthquake yesterday, day before, whenever it was. I'd forgotten until my son reminded me that I walked in the kitchen to find out why all the pans were rattling. And obviously it was the earthquake. It happened at the right time anyway. And with that, I'm going to say 73s to everybody and pass it on over to Mark. KG4IUQ, WA4EVK.
Okay, I heard John and I want to talk to Steve. I'm going to send it to Steve and see if they can take care of that.
I need to talk to Cliff if you're still in there, Cliff. Over.
Yeah, still here, John. You want to wait till the net's over?
Yeah, just don't leave. KZ4B, stand by.
Okay, this is Mark, KG4IUQ. I've heard everybody pretty well here. Steve searching for a package. He's hoping it arrives with a Johnson Viking Mobile. And Buddy, ARK, sounding good here. Has a birthday coming up. And Brian, KN4R, going on a trip. And John, KZ4 Bravo, has a password issue. I hear everybody pretty good. Several people have checked out. I'm going to say 73s. And hope everybody has a good evening. I'll send it over now to Charlie, W4MEC. This is KG4IUQ.
Okay, KG4IUQ in the group W4MEC. Real good. Well, my comment about you, I think you said it was a Johnson rig that you got off of eBay, a mobile radio. Well, basically that's what it's doing. It's quite mobile. It's going from Arizona to Gaffney and back and forth to Columbia. It's still mobile, so maybe it'll make it here. What else we got here? Sorry. Sound like I'm about to die here with this cough. John, I have in my hands a 0.15 ohm 1 watt carbon resistor, and I checked it with my meter, a Fluke DVM, and I just stuck it in the terminals there to eliminate lead resistance, and it read 0.2 ohms. So given it is a 5% resistor, considering the accuracy of the meter, It is probably a 0.15 ohm resistor, and it's yours if you would like it. I'll drop it in the mail. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, that Jimmy, with that feedback, I'm curious about that on the Drake. I'm assuming you got the Drake in external mute position when you're doing that. Any other position that radio is not muted, and it will not mute because the line that goes out to the external mute jack is a ground, and it is grounded in all positions except external mute and off. So you might look in that circuit there. It goes several places, and basically it's a normal mute circuit because the RF gain, a carbon resistor, fixed composition resistor, and a adjustable pot called receiver sense, which I guess was like some receivers had a ability to set it to the normal sensitivity and not exceed it. All those three are in series, and when it's receiving, it goes to ground. So there's a couple paths in there that might be shorting out or low resistance or something, but the only way you're going to mute that thing is by grounding that external mute jack in external mute, or rather ungrounding the external mute jack in external mute. So needs a ground function. I've got a 922 Alpha, Glenn, and I put the 10-meter mod kit in it, and it is pretty heavy, I'll say that. There's two versions. One has you have to take the front panel off to take the band switch off, band switch knob, and another one you can take it off without. There's something about that, but I was lucky that I had the model that you didn't have to take the whole front panel off. Let's see, the big plus to the 922 is it got 160 meters in it, very few amps. Back in that era had 160 meters, so and it does quite well. Let's see, what else other note I got here. 922 key line, and I can't, there's something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was, so maybe I'll think of it by next Tuesday. So, KWS-1 project. I initially, when I brought it home, I had it on its side, and I noticed that there was 4 adjustable feet on it. And I didn't think anything about it at the time, and I made up 4 triangular pieces of metal to screw onto the bottom of that thing so that I could attach 4 casters. Well, when I got around to doing it and I unscrewed those darn feet, I realized all I need is a caster with a 1/4 by 20 bolt on it. And I bought 4 of those, and they fit just perfect. There's only one little problem. Besides coughing to death. And that is that if you put those wheels on and using 1/4 by 20 bolts on those plates, and you hit something as tight as a dime on the floor, the wheel comes to a screeching halt, and it actually bends that plate. So I ended up having to lay that 165 pounds back on the floor again and unscrew all my casters and do my original idea, which was a metal plate, triangular plate there. And I did put a ridge, or I did put a bend in it to give it strength on the hypotenuse of it, and then put my 4 casters on there and have no issues with it now. Nothing bends when it'll go over a dime now. Anyway, those were good screw-in casters, but the darn bottom of the reinforcing corner on the Collins was just too wimpy to take it. So maybe that's the reason they didn't put casters on it in the first place. 7-3 all. We'll see you on Tuesday morning. Let's see. It goes to W4BOH. He was readable a little bit, but not much. 7-3 all. W4 MEC.
Okay. W4 MEC in the group. W4BOH. Well, I've got some more. I've got some amplifiers here, so I might keep drawing it. Some signals are. Some receivers from Steve. Through freight from Steve might appreciate getting rid of his receivers too. I don't know. That's all from me. Reed Brown, W1NCR, and
Okay, Wilson. I think you were having a little difficulty with your audio chain. You're breaking up a little bit and sending carrier only, so I don't know, perhaps microphone connection, etc. But anyway, you're about the best signal between you and Steve for most of the net. Although Charlie, you came up on that last transmission quite nicely. In fact, I heard just about everyone, even Mir came up, and I always have a little bit of trouble with him. Of course, I need to work on my V and rhombic antennas for receive to improve the whole thing. Anyway, and let's see, Cliff, I assume that you're heading to Ohio later this week, and you'll have your usual spot, and I will look forward to seeing you. I'll be chumming around with the usual suspects myself down in the racetrack area. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I haven't even looked at it, but I'll be traveling out with Nick England and for KYW, and very much looking forward to it. So anyway, not too much more from me. Always good to hear you gentlemen. My apologies for not being a better participant. I'm not smart enough to be retired yet, but that's on the visible horizon. So looking forward to that at some point. But again, sorry I'm not here more often. Steve, thank you very much for orchestrating the insanity and herding the cats. Always appreciated. And with that, I will say a very good afternoon to all of you. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend, and I'll hand it back to Steve. N4LQ and the old friend's net from W1NZR. Good afternoon, all.
And we don't want to forget our friend Jimmy, K4JAL, N4LQ.
Well, thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Brown, you're forgiven. I was switching over to the SDR console after the letdown from the Drake again. Yeah, we thought we had a gassy tube in the IF section, and we thought it fixed it. And we took it over to Don's to work on it, and it worked well, but he didn't try to turn the transmitter on in the room, and it seemed to work well, and it seemed to work well for me earlier today. But Charlie, I did have the standby switch on, and I understand that circuit fairly well. I don't know whether I can crank the sensitivity down and still have a receiver that will work with this net. That's basically where I use it, but it'll all come out in the wash. I'm not worried about it. Back to you, Steve. N4LQ, K4JAL, 73.
All right, 73, Jim. I just wanted to say that somebody mentioned looking for a shunt resistor or something to do with shunt resistors. But Amazon has got you covered. They've got a kit of resistors ranging from 0.01 ohms up to 100 ohms, 60 pieces. It looks pretty neat, $15, and you can combine those to come up with just about any value of a shunt resistor, I would think. And of course, that's just one example. They've got dozens and dozens of different real low value resistors. I did that one time on I think I had a Valiant, and sometimes those little nichrome thing, that nichrome wire, it doesn't solder, so you just have to kind of, I don't know how Johnson got it to stick, but it didn't stick very well. Anyway, yeah, we felt the earthquake here yesterday I think it was yesterday, but I didn't know what happened, and the dogs started barking, and I ran outside. I thought maybe a tree had fallen on the house or something. It shook the whole house, and couldn't find anything until I checked the National Earthquake map, and it showed that one over there, and I think it's Greenback, Tennessee is where it came from. All right, well, appreciate everybody checking in. For those that want to hang out, go right ahead and do so. We'll close the net now and say 73s. This is N4LQ closing the net.
Okay, Charlie, have I got it?
Oh.
Yeah. Charlie, I would very much appreciate you sending me that 0.15 ohm resistor. And drag your feet just a second because I have a delay on receive. What wattage is your resistor? Is your shunt resistor? Over?
It's 1 watt.
Did you say 1 watt?
Correct. Yes, Roger. QSL, 1 watt.
Did anybody else copy Charlie? Did he say 1 watt?
Yes, he did.
1 watt?
That's a 3 watts, what they're calling for in the manual.
Roger, so that's not going to parallel very well. Charlie, have you got anything that's like, let's see, what would it be, 0.45 ohms, 1 watt resistor? If you parallel 3 of those, you'd have 1.5 ohms, 0.15 ohms. If you parallel 3.45s, don't you get 3 watts at 0.15? Over?
Well, I guess the math is right, but I'm just looking in my box full of resistors, and I don't see a 1 that starts with a yellow band, so I don't have one.
Roger. Well, listen, thanks for trying. Let that slide, because I do need 3 watts or even more. It may be 3 is too puny in that it appears to have opened up. So thanks for thinking about me, Charlie. I really appreciate that. Cliff, if you're there, can you copy? Over?
Yeah, he's sounding good here, John. About 20 over.
Okay, I'm copying you fine too, but that's usual. Listen, my problem is this manual that I've got has 2 schematics that don't agree. One schematic that shows the whole amplifier says the shunt resistor is R2, but then there's another schematic that is just the power supply, and that says the shunt resistor is R3. Furthermore, it does not show, with my literature, it does not show a resistor in series with the meter. It's just the shunt resistor right across the meter. Now, I know with my T150 that there was an internal resistor in the meter, and not in the the radio itself. And I'm wondering if they're counting that, if that's a possibility. What's your take on that? Over?
SWB4NKL. I sent you that manual that I was looking at, John. You can take a look at it. They show a 110 ohm resistor, which is, I think they're calling it R1, is in series with the shunts. And there's 2 shunts. There's a R2 is a plate shunt, and R3 has the same value as the grid shunt. And those 2 resistors are sort of in series and going to ground off the negative lead of the power supply. So I guess they're measuring the other shunt with the other meter. But I don't know, your amp might be different from these, but you can. I sent that manual, so you can take a look at that. Over.
Thank you very much. I'll study the situation. Hold on a second here. Yeah, my manual, it's all screwed up. It shows the R2 and the R3 are the same shunt across the plate meter in mine on those 2 different schematics. So I'll try to sort it out. Now, I very much appreciate it. What I got from Vibroplex isn't worth a crap. I called them up to get them to send me the missing pages, and their master does not have the missing pages. So it's an incomplete manual. So you are really helping me a lot. And But I'm wondering, anyway, you can't do any better than having sent me the manual, so I very much appreciate it. I'll take it from here, and I'll let you know how we make progress. Hope to see you at Zenith, and I'll probably see you there before I talk to you again on the radio. So thanks for dragging your feet. Thanks for sending the manual, and I will try to print that out and see if I can figure out what in the devil is going on. But when I did my test, I put it right across the meter terminals following what I have in my schematic.